50 baseballs. Rare surviving bat. Stand up. Or do you want to take her place? Keep you alive. Only. Are you sure? Listen.
Brilliant! Иду. Все, сейчас буду.
Very important about the man who sent you.
Is this a drill?
If Akan gets a hold of my work, go! Marty?
Sorry, the man.
Henry! Hold on, Henry! No!
Я готов понести наказание. Gotta be the gayest jacket I've ever.
She's mourning her late husband. He's unparalleled. I'm just...
Now! You knew that you beamed your video. What's that? Enough! I still have to. Five men. We've got to cut them down to half. There's a certain stigma attached. Got it? Now. Go inside. See the colonel. Don't touch that. M&G's mine. Come along. It is our duty to ensure that no harm can... If you can hear them, but you can't shoot them. Come along. help me with the cripple?
Hang on.
Memories.
What's left of their brains. Act on.
I love you, Thomas.
That's odd. I smell what you like. But I'm warning you.
Look like a fucking knife.
Can you handle? Why are you hitting yourself, Henry?
Hey guys, today we're diving headfirst, literally, into the first-person chaos of Hardcore Henry, a movie that throws you into the action faster than a caffeine overdose on a Monday morning. We start by literally becoming Henry, waking up on a sterile lab table. Our wife, the rather lovely Estelle, introduces herself and our shiny new cybernetic limbs. Before we can even say where's the coffee, a villainous dude named Akan, who frankly looks like he owns a chain of supervillain hair salons, busts in, telekinetically tossing people around like rag dolls. He kidnaps Estelle, and suddenly, we're not just a guy with new limbs. We're a guy with new limbs, no voice, and a serious revenge quest. If you like this sneak peek, hit the like button and subscribe. It's the best way to support the channel, and let me know you want more. With Estelle dragged away, Henry is left to fend for himself against Akan's surprisingly agile goons. It's a baptism by fire, or, more accurately, by blunt trauma and whirring prosthetics. Punches connect with a sickening thud, and the metallic clang of Henry's new arm smacking into an enemy is practically the film's soundtrack. Suddenly, a helpful voice guides us. It's Jimmy, a quirky, British-accented scientist who pops up, initially in a lab coat, offering a much-needed escape route. He's like our personal, slightly unhinged tutorial guide. We tumble through a window, escaping the lab's fiery embrace, only to find ourselves on the busy, unforgiving streets of Moscow. Welcome to the tutorial level. Henry, hope you remembered your health packs just when we thought we might catch a breather. Maybe check our new bionic arm for a warranty. Jimmy ushers us onto a public bus. Because, you know, nothing says incognito escape like a crowded municipal vehicle. Of course, Akan's goons are basically the most persistent ex-boyfriends ever. They slam into the bus with a black SUV, turning our comrade into an instant metal-on-metal concert. The sound of glass shattering is almost as constant as Henry's heavy breathing. Henry is forced to defend himself, slamming and kicking enemies in the tight confines of the bus. It's close quarters combat at its finest, or worst, depending on if you're Henry or one of the anonymous bad guys. We take a tumble literally off the bus, landing on the street below, still pursued. Jimmy, ever the resourceful one, points us towards a car, urging us to drive. Because driving a car in first person, after just waking up from being partially rebuilt, is apparently a super easy task after a brief, exhilarating, and frankly, quite reckless driving montage. Henry, now a bit battered and bruised, finds his way to a train station. It's a public space, but somehow, we're not feeling particularly safe. And who do we find? None other than Jimmy, now sporting a rather convincing hobo disguise, complete with a grizzled beard and a shopping cart. He's like a fashion chameleon, if chameleons also dealt in high-tech gadgetry and existential dread. Jimmy patches us up with a medkit, which is basically a fancy way of saying he gives us a shot of something that instantly makes everything a little less painful. He reveals more about Akan, a guy who's apparently building an army of super soldiers, and, plot twist, Henry is the prototype. So our new, shiny body isn't just a gift. It's a stolen blueprint for mass destruction. Great, just what we needed, more responsibility. Jimmy, in another one of his delightful costume changes, now introduces us to his gang, a motley crew of unique individuals gathered in a somewhat sketchy apartment. It's like the Avengers, but if the Avengers were all perpetually exasperated and operating on a shoestring budget. Before we can even learn their names, because, let's be honest, this movie moves too fast for character introductions, Akan's forces are back. It's a full-on assault, with bullets zipping past our ears and the concussive force of grenades making our vision wobble. This leads to an incredible rooftop chase sequence, where Henry goes full parkour expert, leaping across buildings with the grace of a particularly angry cyborg. The crunch of debris underfoot, the whoosh of wind as we plummet between gaps, it's all incredibly visceral. Each landing is a controlled impact, a testament to Henry's new, practically indestructible frame. We're dodging gunfire, taking out enemies with brutal efficiency, and generally making a mess of Moscow's skyline. It's almost like a high-stakes urban obstacle course. If the obstacles were heavily armed and actively trying to end our existence, our next stop on this whirlwind tour of Moscow's underbelly? A lavish, incredibly ostentatious brothel. Because where else would a super soldier prototype look for answers? Jimmy, now dressed as a suave, slightly sleazy club owner, directs us through the opulent interior, which is less gentleman's club and more circus tent exploded with expensive velvet and neon lights. But beneath the glitz, it's an arms-dealing hub, naturally. This scene kicks off with a massive, multi-level shootout. Bullets rip through the air, spraying sparks and splintering wood. The deafening roar of automatic gunfire, punctuated by the sharp crack of Henry's own pistol, creates a relentless auditory assault. Henry is a one-man wrecking crew, vaulting over counters, sliding under tables, and using anything and everything as cover. The sound of a shotgun blast up close is almost sickening, and the impacts of Henry's punches feel heavy, bone-jarring. It's less a fight and more an acrobatic massacre. If you ever wondered what it's like to be John Wick after drinking 5 energy drinks, this is probably a mid-dash brothel mayhem. Henry gets cornered in a bathroom, of all places. It's a moment of frantic desperation, with enemies closing in. The only way out? Smash through a wall and into a grimy, watery sewer pipe. Because when in doubt, just add more grime, right? This entire segment is a frantic, claustrophobic crawl through the dark, echoing tunnels. The sloshing sound of Henry's boots in the filthy water is almost palpable, and the distant gunfire echoes ominously. Enemies pop out of the shadows, leading to sudden, brutal engagements where every close-quarters combat feels even more desperate. Henry is literally swimming through human waste to escape, proving that even super soldiers have to deal with the gross stuff. It's a stark contrast to the earlier opulent brothel, trading velvet for literal sewage. We eventually emerge from the subterranean funk, gasping for relatively cleaner air, only to find ourselves back in the urban jungle, still very much on the run. You know, just another Tuesday for Henry. Just when you think Henry might get a moment to dry off from his sewage bath, Jimmy, now dressed as a bike courier, pops up again with a shiny motorcycle. It's time for a classic action movie staple, the high-speed chase. But this isn't just any chase. It's a first-person motorcycle chase through incredibly dense Moscow traffic, where every car is either an enemy or an unwitting participant in Henry's personal demolition derby. The roar of the engine is almost deafening, a constant thrum beneath the frantic screech of tires and the sickening crunch of metal as Henry inevitably, accidentally or sometimes on purpose, clips other vehicles. Weaving between lanes, dodging oncoming traffic by literal inches, it's a symphony of chaos. Jimmy, in his sniper form, perched precariously on a building, provides crucial overwatch, taking out enemies with precision shots. The thwack of his sniper rifle and the satisfying splat of an enemy are like a rhythm section to Henry's bass-heavy motorcycle. It's an adrenaline shot directly to the optic nerve, making you grip your imaginary handlebars just a little tighter. The motorcycle chase reaches its apex on a multi-tiered bridge. It's like a tiered cake, but instead of delicious frosting, it's covered in bullets and explosions. Akan's forces are relentless, bringing in armored vehicles and even a helicopter, because apparently they have an unlimited budget for villainy. The sound of rotor blades chopping the air above us is menacing, mixing with the staccato bursts of machine gun fire. Henry is forced to abandon the motorcycle, leaping from vehicle to vehicle with impossible agility. The impacts of his landings are heavy, and the metallic scraping of his cybernetic parts against steel railings creates a harsh, grating symphony. He's basically playing the floor is lava with moving vehicles and a pissed-off helicopter pilot. Jimmy, still providing sniper support, even uses a cleverly placed shot to take out one of the helicopter's rotors, sending it spiraling down in a fiery explosion that showers the bridge in shrapnel. It's a truly spectacular moment of pure action, leaving Henry and us breathless and covered in imaginary grime. After the urban carnage, Henry finds himself a surprisingly serene, snow-covered forest, making his way towards Akan's heavily fortified research outpost. It's a brief respite from the city's roar, replaced by the crunch of snow underfoot and the chilling whisper of the wind through the trees. But don't let the pretty scenery fool you. This is still hardcore Henry, so serene quickly turns into silent takedowns. Henry, channeling his inner assassin, uses stealth to dispatch guards. The thump of an unconscious body hitting, the snow, the quick, efficient snap of a neck. It's all remarkably quiet yet incredibly brutal. It's almost like a stealth game, but if the main character decided to skip the non-lethal option entirely. He encounters a flamethrower-wielding enemy, which is just excellent. The hiss and roar of the flamethrower, accompanied by the smell of ozone and burning synthetic flesh in our imagination, of course, adds a terrifying heat to the cold environment. It's a brutal, fiery encounter that tests Henry's resilience, forcing him to adapt to ever-increasing threats. With the flamethrower guy dealt with, Henry eventually finds a high vantage point overlooking Akan's primary research base. And what does he find there? A sniper rifle, naturally. It's like the game developers were like, you know what this first-person shooter needs? A first-person sniping segment. The slow, methodical breaths Henry takes before a shot, the thwack of the bullet hitting its target from hundreds of yards away. It's all incredibly satisfying. But sniping is just the appetizer. Soon, Henry descends into the base itself, kicking off another massive firefight. The enclosed spaces amplify the sound of gunfire, making every shot feel like it's right next to your ear, the echoing explosions, the shouts of the enemy, the relentless hail of bullets. It's a chaotic symphony of destruction. Henry is constantly moving, dodging, weaving, and delivering bone-shattering blows. He even uses an electrified shield at one point, which is just good tactical planning, if you ask me. It's a relentless assault, proving Henry is more than just a prototype. He's a highly effective one-man army, and also probably needs a vacation after all this. Having blown up half of Akan's research base, Henry sets his sights on the big guy's personal skyscraper headquarters. And how does he get in? The front door, not too easy. He scales the sheer glass exterior, of course, because parkour wasn't enough. We needed vertical parkour. This sequence is vertigo-inducing, even from a first-person perspective. The feeling of clinging to the side of a building, hundreds of feet up, with the wind whistling past, is surprisingly immersive. Enemies pop out of windows, rappelling down, or shooting from above, forcing Henry to perform death-defying acrobatics while simultaneously engaging in gunfights. The shattering of glass as bullets impact, the dull thud of Henry's hands finding purchase on the metallic framework, it all contributes to a truly tense experience. He eventually gains entry, not by politely knocking, but by smashing through a window like a very aggressive, very silent window cleaner. Inside, the fight continues, transitioning from the perilous exterior to the opulent, yet now heavily damaged, interior of Akan's high-rise fortress. After battling through what feels like an entire army, Henry finally reaches Estelle, his wife. She's in a swanky, high-tech control room, bathed in an eerie blue glow. It's a moment of supposed reunion, of emotional payoff. And then the movie yanks the rug out from under us with the force of a freight train. Estelle, our damsel in distress, reveals that she's been working with Akan all along. The betrayal hits harder than any of the punches Henry has taken. She reveals Henry isn't even Henry, but one of Akan's many clone experiments, activated with false memories. Ouch, talk about a bad day. The emotional blow is almost as staggering as the constant physical ones. The subtle shift in Estelle's tone, the coldness in her eyes, it's a masterclass in villainous reveals. She then activates a failsafe, essentially turning Henry off, leaving him vulnerable and powerless. It's a brutal moment of quiet desperation amidst the otherwise non-stop action, allowing the audience to truly feel Henry's helplessness for the first time. Just when all hope seems lost, when Henry is practically a brick, Jimmy, in his most disfigured and cybernetically augmented form yet, bursts onto the scene. He reactivates Henry, sacrificing himself in a flurry of explosive glory. It's a heroic, albeit completely bonkers, moment that underscores Jimmy's unwavering loyalty. But the fight isn't over, it's just beginning. Henry is now facing Akan's true army, an entire squad of super soldiers, all powered by Akan's telekinetic abilities. And here's the kicker, many of them are clones of Jimmy, each with a different specialization and personality. It's like a twisted family reunion where everyone wants to kill you. The clang of Henry's prosthetic arm deflecting attacks, the whoosh of Akan's telekinetic blasts, the constant bang 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 of gunfire. It's an overwhelming assault on the senses. Each Jimmy clone presents a unique challenge, from a flame-throwing variant to a super strong brute. Henry, fueled by fresh rage and the memory of Jimmy's sacrifice, pushes through the relentless onslaught, each enemy takedown more brutal than the last. His mission now singular, stop Akan, the final showdown. Henry finally reaches Akan in a vast, circular chamber, almost like a gladiatorial arena. Akan, now fully powered up, is telekinetically throwing Henry around like a rag doll, slamming him into walls with sickening thuds. The sound of Henry's body impacting stone is a grim reminder of Akan's immense power, but Akan isn't fighting fair. He unleashes his full army of Jimmy clones, each one a unique, specialized, and hostile version of Henry's former guy. It's an almost comical, yet utterly terrifying sight. One Jimmy is a punk rocker, another a veteran soldier, another a suave hitman. Each clone has its own fighting style and weapon, making Henry's final gauntlet a varied and unpredictable challenge. The swing of blades, the rat-a-tat-tat of automatic weapons, and Akan's guttural roars of rage combine into a crescendo of pure, unadulterated chaos. Henry uses every ounce of his cybernetic strength and combat prowess, improvising with his environment, turning Akan's own henchmen against each other in a desperate fight for survival. He's not just fighting for himself, he's fighting for the truth, and perhaps for some semblance of identity. Finally, after a prolonged and absolutely brutal battle that would make even the toughest gamer rage quit, Henry lands the decisive blow. The crack of a neck, the sickening crunch of bone, and Akan finally falls, defeated. The air, thick with the smell of gunpowder and ozone, slowly clears. Henry then turns his attention to Estelle, who stands among the wreckage. There's no grand, emotional monologue, no dramatic reveal, just a silent, definitive act that solidifies Henry's agency. He's no longer a puppet, no longer a clone, but Henry. The silence that follows the cacophony of battle is almost jarring, a heavy stillness that allows the weight of everything that's happened to finally settle. The journey, filled with relentless action and shocking betrayals, culminates in a victory hard won. It's a testament to resilience, a wild ride through a chaotic world that, despite its first-person perspective, makes us reflect on our own capacity for survival and self-discovery. This film might be hardcore in every sense of the word, but it also subtly asks us to consider what truly makes us human, even when we're largely machine. It's an insane, visceral trip that leaves a lasting impression, proving that sometimes you just need to keep moving forward, even if you're not entirely sure who you are yet. Hardcore Henry isn't just a movie, it's an experience, a wild, unforgettable ride. If you made it this far, you're just as hardcore as Henry himself. Until next time, keep those controllers charged and your heads on a swivel.